Today we're playing a game that has haunted my childhood forever. A game I loved to play but could never beat. A game I wanted to master but would always master me. Today we're playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles until we win. One of the most popular non-Nintendo released games, TMNT haunted the nightmares of over 4 million kids around the world. Developed by Konami, it was released under the Ultra brand in the United States and follows the comic books more than it does the TV show, which was a disappointment to almost everyone that was interested in the game. Speaking of interesting, did you know that Nintendo placed an artificial limit on the number of games any company could release in 1 year? That's why this game was released under Ultra Games instead of Konami. In order to avoid the limitation, Konami and other developers would create shell companies so they could release more and more games per year. So, unlike a lot of Konami games, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is hard, but for all the wrong reasons. First off, the hit detection is screwed up. Enemies can hit you without actually hitting you, and I'm sure you retro gamers know the frustration I'm talking about. The game is also kinda buggy. Bebop and Rocksteady both have exploits you can take advantage of to make the first part of the game a joke. Enemies constantly respawn, and you'll constantly fight your way through them. You can never clear out a room. Jumping is damn tricky in this game. As soon as you hit the ceiling, you start plummeting to the ground. It also doesn't help that enemies will spawn right in the path of your jump, knocking you back and often to your death. Oh yeah, you can't swim, except in the dam level. But even then, you can only swim underwater for 2 minutes and 20 seconds. After that, it's game over. No continues and no second chances. Let me clarify that before I get bitched again. You don't have any continues or second chances in the dam level. You do have continues in the game overall though. There are only a few items in the game, but they're all generally useful. Ninja stars are just that, throwing stars. You can only throw one at a time, but you collect them in bunches of 20. They're just as powerful as Donatello's pole. The triple ninja star throws 3 ninja stars at once. You collect them in packs of 15 at a time, and they're pretty powerful, but hard to come by. Now the boomerang is great to have. It'll come back to you after you throw it, and if you catch it, the number of available boomerangs will not deplete. The missiles are essentially a gimmick and only appear on the level where you need to find Splinter. You fire them from the turtle van. Once you finish the level, you're never going to see him again. The ropes are another gimmick item. They let you cross long gaps in the rooftop section of the game. Once you're done with that section though, you'll never use them again. Now scrolls are the most powerful and useful items in the game, or so I'm told, because I never actually found them during my playthroughs. Sorry guys, so I just really don't have any footage of them. You can look them up on YouTube, I guess. The invincibility turtle is great. It turns you into a spinning death machine. It doesn't last a long time, but you won't die while you're spinning. Now, in spite of its difficulties, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is actually a really fun game, and here are my tips for beating it. First, let's get this out of the way, because you probably already know it, but save Donatello. Not only does his attack have the longest range, he's also the strongest of the turtles. Next, learn how to jump. A short tap lets you kind of hop, while a longer press will send you sailing into the air. Learning the subtleties of your short hop will really help you get past some of the insanely difficult sewer levels. Don't let your turtles die. You can switch between different turtles on the fly, and you probably should take advantage of this. Saving captured turtles is really difficult, and you'll probably need all 4 turtles to get through the dam level alone, never mind the levels after that. Pay attention to the map screen. It's not essential, but it really helps figure out where you've got to go. Conserve your secondary weapons. You may not need them at first, but late in the game they become essential, especially against Shredder. You can destroy almost every projectile in this game with 2 exceptions, lasers and foot soldiers throwing stars. So with that out of the way, let's jump into our half shells, grab a slice of pizza, and dig into this game. The first area, the city, is pretty straightforward. The first sewer level you see really acts as an introductory stage, but you don't need to complete it in order to advance. In fact, it's not really going to take you anywhere. The second sewer is required, however, and at the end of the stage, you'll face off against Bebop. Bebop isn't too bad, in fact he's downright easy. There are a couple of things you need to keep in mind though. You can't jump up and hide behind Rocksteady, otherwise you're just gonna take damage and die. Bebop's only attack is to run into you, or jump up and try to knock you out of the air. Your best option is to stick to the left-hand side of the screen so you can actually jump over him. You can score 3 hits on Bebop if you're patient and you use Donatello. Wait for him to come in range, then attack him. Immediately do a high jump, then attack at the peak of your jump. Then, after you land behind him, attack Bebop a 3rd time. Bebop actually has an exploit, and it's pretty easy to take advantage of. Stay on the right side of the screen, and then jump over him as he comes to run into you. If you do it correctly, he'll get stuck and stay running in place. Hit him in the back to kill him easily. After you beat up on Bebop, Rocksteady will abandon his friend and take April O'Neil to another building. You're gonna have to find the building he took her to and fight your way through. It's not that difficult of a level, but there are so many enemies here that you may end up losing a couple of turtles. Take your time and you'll eventually get to the boss. Now there are a couple of ways to deal with Rocksteady. I'm sure most of us know about the Donatello trick where you jump up to the upper right corner of the screen, kneel down, and attack Rocksteady as he jumps up. If you don't have Donatello, or you don't like using exploits, then beating Rocksteady is all about remembering his pattern. Run, jump, pause, fire. When he runs at you, jump over him. When he fires his gun, either hit the shots to destroy them, or jump over them. And finally, hit him when you get an opportunity. Eventually, Rocksteady will go down. Area 2. The Dam. So immediately enter the building and start killing bad guys. The goal here is to get to the top of the dam, so keep climbing your way up. Now this section actually isn't too difficult, but it can be annoying. Just remember to save Donatello. Go through Michelangelo or Raphael if you have to. Once you get to the top of the dam, you'll head right, jump off, and enter the dreaded swimming level. Here are a few things you need to keep in mind. You've only got 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I know a lot of the times I say relax and take it easy, but you really have to hustle. I've played this level several times and I've never finished it with more than 55 seconds left. If all of your turtles die in this stage, or you run out of time, you do not get a continue, even if you've got both continues left. It is game over. There are water currents to contend with in this stage, and they'll push your turtle in one direction or another. Learning where these currents are and what direction they push you in is vital to getting through this stage alive. The electrical traps are hard to avoid, and timing them when combined with the various water currents can be really difficult. Each trap takes about 1 full box of health out. There are 2 types of seaweed here, the pink electrical kind and the instant death traps. Try not to touch either one. Don't let your turtles die. If one of them is low on health, just switch to another one. Once you reach a bomb, you can actually breathe for a second because the timer stops until the turtle is done defusing it. There are 8 bombs in total, and all of them must be defused to pass the stage. Here's how to get through it. To start, head to the right and you'll immediately defuse the first bomb. Next, head right and then up and you'll find the second bomb. Go back down and to the right. Try to avoid the electrical traps and defuse the third bomb. Head right and avoid the spinning trap. Head up and to the left to defuse the fourth bomb. Now go to the right until you come across the fifth bomb. Defuse it and head up. Now the next section is usually where a lot of us died. If you stay focused and move as quickly as possible, you'll get through it with minimal or no damage. After that gauntlet of terror, head to the right until you defuse bomb number 6. From there, head left, down, and to the right, avoiding the electrical trap to defuse bomb number 7. Head down, then left through another electrical trap, then down again. You'll come across the second gauntlet. The electrical seaweed here isn't the biggest problem. It's the instant death seaweed that will get you. There are strong downward currents right above those death traps, so you'll need to move fast to avoid getting killed. Keep heading to the right, then up, and eventually back to the left. You'll defuse bomb number 8 and move on to the third area. Area 3, we're back in the city, although April O'Neil calls it a town. I'm not quite sure who calls New York City a town. Anyway, when I was a kid I could never get past this stage because A, I was always low on health, and B, I could never find the rockets. Or when I did find them, I could never get up to them. Or when I got up to them, I'd always waste them. Here's how you get through it. Enter the first building you can get into and fight your way to the room where you can see the rockets at the top left of the screen. There are 2 ways to get there. First, if you're lucky, you'll be able to make a pixel-perfect jump up there and skip all the nasty fighting in front of you. Of course, you'll be damn lucky to pull this off without an emulator. The second way is to fight your way through. At the end of the hallway is a full pizza. Grab it if you need it, but remember, it never respawns. Once you fight your way back to the other side, you can simply walk over the gap and grab the rockets. Yeah, you walk over the gap, you don't jump over it. Now remember, you've only got 10 rockets. If you pay careful attention to your map, you won't waste any of them on a useless section. And believe me, there are more than a few useless sections. Now once you get around on the map, you're going to come up to one of the most difficult sections of the game. And believe me, you're going to die a lot. The trick here is that you've got to force the enemies to spawn before you commit to a jump. Once you force the enemies to spawn, you can move back, kill them, and then move forward. Your other option is to jump forward aggressively, but only using your short hop. If you stay low, you'll be able to kill the enemies as they spawn and try to attack you. It takes practice, but it's doable. Getting through that sewer section rewards you with a tough-as-nails building section, but it doesn't throw any big surprises at you. The only really difficult part you'll face is the rooftop jumping. Just make sure you time your jumps and get your twitch reflexes ready in case an enemy suddenly spawns in front of you. And the last part of the stage you'll face a clone of Leonardo. He's actually really easy. Let him swing at you, then just jump over him, attack with Donatello's pole, and repeat. Once you beat him, he'll transform into a flying robot thing. This guy's a little more difficult because he likes to pin you into a corner and kill you. Just jump over him and attack him when you get the opportunity, and you'll free your sensei, Splinter. Of course, once you free him, it's not the end of the game. Now you've got to find the blimp and bring the fight to Shredder. Area 4, the airfield. A lot of people complain that this section can be confusing and difficult. Well, let's clear the confusion up right now. As long as you go to the right and the numbers on the wall are always increasing, then you're going in the correct direction. If the numbers ever decrease, or you enter a sewer and need to go to the left, you're going the wrong way. As for the difficulty, yes, this series of sewer levels is pretty damn hard. The best I can do for you here is to let you know that this is hardcore old-school platforming at its worst. I mean, when you've got limited space, guys wielding chainsaws, conveyor belts pushing you backwards, kamikaze enemies, and instant death spikes surrounding you, there's almost nothing I can tell you that will help you get through this stage. You're just gonna have to die a lot to get past this section. Of course, once you've paid your dues, you get to fight the stage boss, Mouser. This guy is ridiculously easy if you have Donatello. And you did remember to save him, right? Just stand under his mouth and attack up, and that is it. Just stand there and keep attacking. You'll beat him in a few seconds. The final area. I hate the final area. Now, in this section, you can actually go into the buildings and find your captured turtles. Of course, those buildings are extremely hard to get through, so if you're only missing one of them, it might not be the best opportunity. Beyond that, you've got to go down to the underground caverns to find the secret base. Since your goal is to find a secret underground base, guess what? You gotta go to the sewers. When you first jump down, you'll be in a cave-like area. All you need to do is break the oddly colored floor tiles, drop down, and keep finding more ways to drop down. I'm serious, you just need to find ways to drop down. Don't worry, you're not gonna die, you'll just keep falling further into this maze-like underground base, fighting an endless horde of foot soldiers. I think I need to interject something here. I honestly have no idea how I got up to the final boss of this level. Honestly, I don't remember. Now, there are walkthroughs that detail exactly which way you need to go, and there are actually 3 different caverns with 3 different possible ways to get up to the boss, but I don't remember what I did. I just kept falling down, going to the right, falling down, going to the right. Eventually, I got up to a doorway, and got to the Technodrome. And yeah, the boss is the Technodrome. And holy crap is he hard! What happened here? Up until now, the bosses have all been jokes. Bebop and Rocksteady both have easy exploits to take advantage of them, and Mouser is so simple that you need to stand in one position to beat him. But the Technodrome? Wow, they ramped up the difficulty quite a bit. This thing has several attacks. First is the big-ass electric storm that it generates. Touch that once and you're down a good amount of health. Second are the 2 turrets that shoot bullets at you. Third are the foot soldiers that continually jump out of the hatch at the top. And fourth is the eye itself that can fire at you. So what do? Well, you can destroy everything that attacks you, including the front and back magnets, and the hatch that the foot soldiers jump out of. Your first job, though, destroy the turrets. They'll make life unmanageable. After that, you have a choice. The magnets aren't really going to cause you many problems, but you can destroy them anyway, or you can focus on the eye. And yeah, I know, you can destroy the hatch, but the foot soldiers don't really come out that fast, so you can kill them while you damage the eye. After a few deaths, you'll get the hang of it and take down the Technodrome. And now it's on to Shredder's Lair. The final area, the Technodrome. Much like the underground lair, I really don't know how to get through this level. I'm serious here. There are walkthroughs that detail what you need to do, where you need to go, who you need to talk to, who you gotta beat up, but I'm telling you, I got through this entire level by complete accident. There are a lot of different directions you can go here, including down. You're practically required to jump down vertical shafts, and this can be a problem, especially when there's nothing but a huge floor of deadly spikes underneath you. Honestly, this entire stage is a hellhole. There are enemies everywhere, foot soldiers, ostrich-looking things, and laser soldiers. You're just gonna need to be on your game here. That's all I can really say. This is platforming from hell. After you fight through this level, you'll come up to a door and face Shredder. After you've beaten the Technodrome, you might think Shredder would be even more difficult. Nah, he's a piece of cake. All you need is Donatello or a throwing weapon. Stand on the upper right platform and hit Shredder with your pole or throw a weapon at him. He'll fall down and eventually jump back up to the upper platform. Shredder will never get a hit on you. Repeat this until he's dead. Well, that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Heroes in a half shell, turtle power! Wow, this is kinda gay, actually. I'm never gonna end an episode like this again.